I stopped paying my family's bills and moved out. Now they're furious. Life fell into a routine faster than Anna expected. Mornings began with a rushed commute to Davidson Marketing, where her desk was nestled among a sea of other junior associates. She worked hard, taking on extra assignments, hoping to make an impression. Evenings were a quieter affair. Dinner with her parents at the small kitchen table, a mix of polite conversation and updates on her job. It wasn't ideal, but it was manageable. Until Sarah showed up. Anna's older sister had always been the golden child. At family dinners, the conversation inevitably turned to Sarah's achievements, Sarah's children, Sarah's life. Anna had grown used to playing the supporting role, applauding her sister from the sidelines while her own victories went unnoticed. But when Sarah arrived one Friday evening with her husband Mike and their two kids, Emma and Lucas, the dynamics shifted in a way Anna hadn't anticipated. "My precious angels," Mom exclaimed as she scooped up 4-year-old Emma in a hug. "Look at you, growing so fast." Dad chuckled as he lifted Lucas onto his shoulders. "Got any new tricks, buddy?" Anna lingered in the doorway, her presence unnoticed. It wasn't surprising. She'd been invisible in these family gatherings for years. The evening unfolded like a well-rehearsed play. Sarah regaled their parents with tales of her perfect suburban life, her thriving garden, and her latest book club debates. Emma and Lucas roamed the house like they owned it, leaving behind a trail of toys and crumbs. "Anna, be a dear and put on some coffee," Mom called over her shoulder, not even glancing her way. Anna bit back a sigh and headed to the kitchen. The first request came that very weekend. "We hardly get any time to ourselves," Sarah said, lounging on the couch while Anna stood by the sink, washing the dinner plates. "Mike and I could really use a date night. Would you mind watching the kids tomorrow?" Anna hesitated. She had plans, nothing extravagant, just a hike with a coworker, but it was something she'd been looking forward to. "Can't Mom and Dad watch them?" "Oh, honey," Mom interjected, rubbing her lower back theatrically. "You know how hard it is for me to keep up with little ones, and your father needs his rest." Anna stared at the soapy water, the weight of their expectations settling heavily on her shoulders. "Sure," she said finally. Her Saturday was spent playing babysitter while Sarah and Mike enjoyed a leisurely lunch and a movie. It wasn't ideal, but Anna consoled herself with the thought that it was just one weekend. She was wrong. The months that followed blurred together into a monotonous cycle. Sarah and Mike's visits became more frequent, and their requests more demanding. Weekends turned into babysitting marathons. Workdays were interrupted by texts from her mom asking for help with groceries or errands. Anna tried to set boundaries once. "This is getting to be a bit much," she said one evening after Sarah had dropped off the kids without so much as a thank you. "I have my own life too." Sarah scoffed. "What life? You're just working and coming home. Watching the kids gives you something meaningful to do." Mom nodded in agreement. "It's good practice for when you have your own children someday." Anna swallowed her frustration. The argument was pointless. Her family had already decided her role in their lives, and nothing she said seemed to matter. The situation reached a tipping point when Sarah's family moved in. It started with a phone call. Sarah sobbing about Mike losing his job and their inability to pay rent. "We don't know what else to do," she cried. "We have nowhere else to go." Without hesitation, their parents offered the house. Anna, however, wasn't consulted. "Their family," Mom said when Anna voiced her concerns. "We have to stick together during hard times." The following weekend, Sarah, Mike, and their kids arrived with 3 carloads of belongings. Anna was unceremoniously moved into the smallest bedroom, her larger room transformed into a nursery for the kids. "It's just until we get back on our feet," Sarah assured her, though Anna noticed she didn't seem to be in any rush to leave. The house, once a place of relative calm, descended into chaos. Emma and Lucas treated every room like their personal playground. Mike spent his days scrolling through job boards, his frustration palpable. Sarah, meanwhile, lounged on the couch or complained about how hard it was to be a stay-at-home mom. The utility bills doubled, then tripled. Anna stared at her paycheck one evening, realizing she was spending nearly all of it to keep the household afloat. When she brought it up, the reaction was swift and unforgiving. "Are you seriously complaining about money?" Sarah snapped. "Mike and I are going through the hardest time of our lives." "Family helps family," Mom added, her tone dripping with disappointment. Anna bit her tongue, but the resentment simmered just beneath the surface. The breaking point came when Anna announced her plans to go on a ski trip with coworkers. "You can't," Sarah said flatly when Anna mentioned it over dinner. "Why not?" "Because we have Aunt Linda's birthday party this weekend. You'll need to stay here with the kids." Anna laughed, a sharp, bitter sound. "I'm sorry, did you just decide my weekend plans without asking me?" "It's the most logical arrangement," Sarah said, as if that explained everything. Anna set down her fork, her hands trembling with anger. "No," she said, her voice steady. "I'm going skiing. You'll have to figure out something else." The argument that followed was explosive. Her parents accused her of being selfish and ungrateful. Sarah called her irresponsible. Even Mike chimed in, muttering under his breath about her lack of family loyalty. But for the first time in her life, Anna didn't back down. The next morning, she packed her things and left. Moving in with Rachel was the best decision Anna had ever made. The relief of being out of her family's orbit was indescribable. For the first time in years, she had space to breathe, to think, to focus on herself. The silence in her new apartment was a gift. No screaming children, no guilt-tripping parents, no demands on her time or money. Her family's texts and calls came in waves. First anger, then guilt, then pleading. Anna read them but didn't respond. She was done. Anna expected the silence from her family to feel liberating, but it came with an ache she couldn't entirely ignore. Weeks passed without any contact from her parents or Sarah. The absence of their noise was deafening, a void that no amount of Netflix binges or new hobbies could fully fill. Rachel, always perceptive, noticed. "You're thinking about them, aren't you?" she asked one night as they sat on the couch. Anna hesitated. "A little. I know I needed to leave, but I hate how things ended. I feel like I should have handled it better." "Better for them or for you?" Rachel countered. Anna didn't have an answer. Rachel leaned forward. "Look, you can't pour from an empty cup. They drained you dry, and you did what you had to do to survive. If they don't get that, that's on them." Rachel's words stayed with Anna. Slowly, she began to shift her focus, pouring her energy into work, friendships, and the small pleasures of her newfound independence. 3 months later, on a chilly Saturday morning, there was a knock at Anna's door. When she opened it, she was met with a sight she didn't expect. Her father, looking older and more worn than she'd ever seen him. "Dad?" He offered a small, hesitant smile. "Hi, sweetheart. Can I come in?" Anna stepped aside, her heart pounding. She hadn't seen or spoken to her parents since the day she moved out. Her father sat awkwardly on the edge of the couch, his hands clasped together. "Your mom doesn't know I'm here," he admitted. "Okay," Anna said cautiously, sitting across from him. What's going on? He sighed, the weight of it filling the room. It's been hard with you gone. The house feels different. Your mom's upset. Sarah? Well, you know how Sarah is. Anna raised an eyebrow but said nothing. I came because I wanted to tell you something, he continued. I see now that we were unfair to you. We put too much on your shoulders and didn't appreciate how much you were giving us. And when you finally stood up for yourself, I didn't handle it well. Anna blinked, taken aback. She hadn't expected an apology, least of all from her father. Why now? She asked. Because I miss you, he said simply. And because I've been thinking a lot about what Rachel said to me. Rachel? Her father smiled faintly. She called me about a month ago. Said you wouldn't want her to, but she thought I needed to hear it. She told me you're doing well, that you're happy. And she asked me why I couldn't just let you live your life. Anna's throat tightened. Trust Rachel to push where it mattered most. I can't promise your mom or Sarah will change, her father admitted. But I want to. I want to fix things, if you'll let me. The weeks that followed were tentative but hopeful. Her father visited occasionally, each time arriving with a little more openness and a little less of the stubborn pride Anna had grown up with. Her mother remained distant, and Sarah didn't reach out at all. Anna wasn't sure how she felt about that. Part of her missed the connection she once had with her family, but another part relished the peace of her new life. Rachel was thrilled by the progress. See? She said one evening. Even the most stubborn people can change if you push hard enough. Rachel? Anna said with mock sternness, you meddled. Of course I did, Rachel replied with a grin. It's what best friends are for. As the seasons changed, so did Anna. She no longer felt the need to apologize for her choices or explain her boundaries. She'd learned to prioritize herself, to say no without guilt, and to let go of relationships that only took without giving back. Her relationship with her father slowly improved, and though her mother and Sarah remained on the sidelines, Anna no longer felt the same bitterness toward them. She'd made her peace, even if they hadn't. One evening, as Anna and Rachel sat on their balcony watching the sunset, Rachel turned to her with a sly smile. So, what's next for you, Miss Independent? Anna thought for a moment, a smile spreading across her face. Whatever I want, she said. And for the first time in her life, she believed it.